I'm going to be using a 8 gauge 3-round liner and a 10 gauge 3-round liner. I'm going to be giving you guys some tips that have helped me get better at my line work. I'm excited to start off a brand new week. I wish I was still in Hawaii. My mind is still there, but it is what it is. We're back in LA, happy, better than ever. So today I'm gonna be doing some anime, and that's gonna consist of some fine line work. I'm gonna be using a 8 gauge 3-round liner and a 10 gauge 3-round liner. I'm gonna be giving you guys some tips that have helped me get better at my line work. Line work was one of the things that I kind of struggled with when I first started. I felt like I got shading down a lot quicker than line work. I've been doing this for so many years now, and I've come a long way. But I hope that what I teach you guys today might help you, and you might become a better artist with that. I'm excited, guys. I'm gonna be tattooing one of my friends. She's from Japan. She's lived here and then she's gone back, but she's back again. And I'm gonna be doing some anime pieces on her. When I first started tattooing, she was like one of my first clients, so I'm pretty excited about that. I am having some breakfast. One of my clients told me that the Tommy's breakfast was good. I know it's unhealthy, and I need to eat healthier. But anyways, I was coming to work and I picked up some coffee, and then I thought about this. Usually I get something at Starbucks too, but today I was like, oh, let me try out this breakfast this guy told me about. So I stopped by and grabbed me the breakfast burrito from Tommy's. It's actually very good. But yeah, I'm excited. I haven't seen my friend in quite some years. She actually knows my kids since they were little. And I know her son since he was little too. So it's pretty cool. It's cool to have these clients that have been around for many years. Anyways, on my way here, you're cruising down the street. You always tend to see like crazy shit already in the morning. But today, right now, I was getting my breakfast, and I look over to my right, and I see like this big sheriff van, and they got it like roped off with the caution tape. So I come out the driveway, I pull over to the right, and I see a bunch of cops in hazmat suits going into a business. And I was like, damn. It's just crazy how we all live different lives, right? Like, I'm over here trying to get to work, hustle, do what I love, what I'm passionate about. And others are out there being hustlers, dealing illegal shit. I'm assuming it was a meth lab. It's crazy, but it's just a trip how we're all on different paths in life. But with that being said, though, may you guys stay safe and out of trouble, because it is crazy out there. It's really good, guys. I don't know if a lot of you guys like Tommy's, but I had never had a burrito with chili in it. It has like a sausage patty, eggs, hash brown, and chili and cheese. It's actually very good. I know it sounds pretty crazy, but it's good. I'm not a big breakfast burrito type person, but my client made it sound like it was super good. So I was like, you know what, fuck it. Like, I'm on my way to work. Oh, excuse me. Let me try it for once. He told me this probably like a year ago, but yeah, I have a Tommy's close by. We have an In-N-Out. We have Taco Los Cholos. I don't know if you guys ever had that, but Taco Los Cholos is fire, like fire. Like, they got levels to their meats. They got like the regular stuff, like asada. Then they pick it up a little bit. They got short rib. You want to get fancy with it, they got filet mignon, ribeye. Like, there's levels to that shit. It's so good, though. I'm in Huntington Park, so if you guys are around the area, Taco Los Cholos, 10 out of 10. And this is not a sponsored ad, I swear. It's just that good. Every time people come get tatted, they're like, oh, what's good around here? I always name the spots I like, which is like In-N-Out, Cane's, There's a teppanyaki type spot down the street called Ying Hana, which is really good too. And Taco Los Cholos. I always hype that one up the most because it's so good. The burritos, everything, the tacos, like no matter what you get, it's fire. Yep. So if you guys are in the area, try it out. But I know there's another one. I think in Anaheim or something. I'm not too sure. But you guys should check it out for sure. Fire. I normally don't have breakfast like this, but today I feel like it's gonna be a long day, and I like to lock in. I don't really like stopping and taking like a whole 30 minute to an hour break to eat, because I feel like my clients also get into the whole mindset and everything, and I feel like sometimes you give the body a break, and then you're kind of like you dread it to go back to it. You know what I mean? So when I have long days, like I assume I'm gonna have today, I like to eat a good breakfast. That's gonna hold me for probably the not the majority of the day, but for most of the day. I usually my thing is just coffee, bro. Like if I could just have coffee in the morning, I'm good. But like I said, I feel like it's gonna be a long day, so might as well eat good. And like that, I won't be at midday over here like, oh, I'm hungry. Then my head starts hurting, or I start feeling kind of like, you know. So that's why I chose to have a big breakfast. Oh fuck, excuse me. That's why I chose to have a big breakfast today. Um, what about you guys? Do you guys like having a big breakfast? I like breakfast, but I'm not like so big on it. My shit is like lunch and dinner, and maybe it should be breakfast and lunch, right? Or maybe just lunch, or somewhere between lunch and dinner. I don't know, man, but I'll be trying to lose weight, and I'll get with the program for like a month. Then I stop. Like this shit's hard, guys. I've been a big boy all my life, and to be honest with you guys, like in our culture, we're not really taught to eat healthy and live healthy and all this shit. You know what I mean? Like it's always been hard for me to like get fully with the program, fully committed. Like I always admire people that just obsess on that shit and lock in and become gym rats. Like I wish I could do that, man, but like I feel like going to the gym sometimes is like more like a punishment. Like I don't find pleasure in it. But I do get a kick out of when I'm in the treadmill and I'll go to the restroom and my shirt's like soaking wet. Like I love that shit because I'm like fuck yeah. Like I feel accomplished. Like I did something good for the day. But then as the days go by, it starts feeling kind of like like punishment. Like I need to find like a workout, a diet, something that's more fun. I mean, actually, when it comes down to eating, I know I could eat really good because I've done it before. But it's just the whole workout routine. Like I need to find something more fun to do. So I don't know, maybe get into bicycling again, or I used to do ride fixies back in the day, um, or maybe roller skating or rollerblading or whatever, because I always enjoyed that as a kid and as a teenager. I don't know, man. I just need to find something healthy, fun to do to shed some weight, man. Cause fuck, there's days, excuse me, there's days I wake up feeling good and I feel myself. There's other days I wake up and I feel like a big giant blob and shit. Like I hate myself. I hate my body. And we have good days, bad days. I'm sure you guys could relate. And I trip out because like my girl, she's pretty, but she's always like very self conscious. I'm like, bro, like you look good, you know. But we all fight with our own demons, right? Like we all got our own little issues, our own little struggles. Life. All right, guys. So here's my setup. Pretty simple. Popsicle stick, ink caps. Um, my ink. I usually work with Raw. Shout out to the homies from Raw, Ugo and James. Really good ink, guys. If you guys could get your hands on this, do it. If not, hit me up. I'll connect you. My FK Irons machine that I love so much. The only thing I don't like about it is I feel like sometimes the battery kind of dies fast. And I also don't like that I have to connect it to the USB cable to power it on. But I guess when I'm flying on a trip or something, it's cool because I know it's not going to turn on and waste the battery. And today I'm using the Pepax 8 gauge 3-round liner for the super fine lines. And I'm also using a 10 gauge 3-round liner. They're both 3-round liners, but obviously one is thinner than the other. And that's it. That's pretty much my setup, guys. So right here, we're looking for a better area to place a stencil. I had placed it already once, but it was a little bit off center. So I'm gonna place a stencil again, check it out, and go from there. I usually like to dot the area where I'm gonna place a stencil, but this was a smaller piece, so I felt like I didn't have to do that. I usually do it with my large pieces, find the center of the body or the area that I'm gonna place my stencil on. Makes it a lot easier. Most of the time, one shot. But not today. Today I had to place it again because of the area, the curves in the body and stuff like that. But this time I got it right. Lately I've been drying my stencils with this little fan. It's amazing. It speeds up the dry, and I feel like my stencils last a little better. But I seen another artist do this, so I was like, you know what, let me try that out. And yeah, I definitely been liking it. You can get it on Amazon. It's like 20 bucks, and it has different fan speeds. It even has this feature where you could turn on the kind of like a cooler type thing. It has like a metal in the front, and it gets cold and it blows like cold air, kind of like it turns into like a mini AC thing. It's not like super crazy where you're gonna feel, oh my god, like, 40-degree drop, but it's a great little fan. So get you a little fan, speed up the drying process of your stencils, and get to it. So right here I'm just checking out my needle real quick before I load it into my tattoo machine and get that baby going. I usually like for the tip to be right on the edge of the tip of the tube. I feel like that exposes my needle just the right amount that I need to tattoo. I do get it wrong sometimes, and sometimes it does tend to stick out a little bit more than what I want it to. So I'll just adjust it and bring it in a little more. One of the things I have noticed though throughout the years is that when your needle sticks out a lot more than when it should, it tends to splatter more ink, and sometimes it just doesn't go into the skin the way it has to. Like, you'll find yourself like kind of struggling, like, oh, why isn't the ink going in? And sometimes, or the majority of the times in my case, from experience, is because my needle's sticking out too much. So I'll just retract it, and that slight adjustment will go a very long way. Once I start tattooing, another thing that I do is I use very small amount of ointment on my stencil, just enough to keep the ink from splattering. And I don't wet my paper towel. I keep it dry, and as you can see here, I am just tapping, not wiping or none of that. Just a nice light tap, just to pick up whatever is left over. I do the wiping and all that once I have all my line work done, pretty much. Even if I erase some of the details on my stencils, but as long as my line work is down, I'm good, because I am using a reference, and with my reference I can see where certain details go, and it's just eyeballing it and making sure you're putting the right details in the right places. Another thing that I can tell you is that when you're running thinner needles, you want to lower your voltage. In my case, I'm running 6.5. Every machine is different, so you might want to mess around with your voltage and see what's best. But for the most part, lower voltage is the best way to go, because it is very easy to blow out the skin with finer needles at higher voltages. And also, it depends on the look you're trying to achieve. In this example here, or for this tattoo to be precise, I am running 6.5 and I'm going more on the surface of the skin than creating darker, harder lines. And the reason for that is because I am trying to create a more finer, realistic looking piece. So here I'm already putting in details. I got most of my line work down. You can't really see it too much because I'm trying to keep it as fine as possible, nice and dainty, nothing harsh, nothing bold. And I also start laying out my darks first and working towards the light tones. So as you can see here by the handle, it looks pretty dark. So that's how I build it up. Sometimes I do start reverse and I'll go from light to dark. But I do find myself doing that technique more when I do portraits. Because in portraits, you don't want to start dark because you can't really go backwards on a portrait. But that'll be a lesson for next time, or eventually whenever I get to a portrait and I decide to put you guys on some game, I guess. Till then, please subscribe and wait for that episode, I guess. So here I'm building up my tones. I've already got all my darks in, and now I am using mid-tones and light tones. It all depends on your reference, of course. So make sure you're always paying attention to your reference. If it's mid-tones, use mid-tones. If it's light tones, light tones. You get the point. Just build it up. So I went dark, then mid-tones, then light tones. So now I'm shading the edge of the sword, and my reference is showing me that it's more on the lighter side, so I'm going with a lighter tone. And I start with a lighter, more concentrated tone, like how I am doing right now, and I gradually work my way up. And as I go up, it's obviously less ink, so I'm able to create a lighter tone just with one tone. And the style that I'm shading in is called stipple shading. So it kind of looks like it's peppered, I want to say. But that's the look I want. I feel like that's the best look, especially on anime pieces. Oh, and by the way, this is a piece from Berserk. Well, it's his sword, and I thought we were gonna do the whole character and everything, but she ended up just wanting his sword. So still the same technique though. Still, even if I would have done the full piece, this is the way I would have done it. Fine line, and work my tones just how I'm doing here. I'm not using no shading mag or anything like that. I'm still running my A gauge 3. And as you can see, my hand movement is a little quicker, and that's only because I am trying to achieve a certain look that you guys will be able to see once I complete the tattoo. So make sure you guys stay till the end of the video, where I will be showing you guys the end result of this sword and other little tattoos that she wanted that I did on her. But for today, this was the biggest piece I did on her, so this is what I'm trying to show you guys the most and give you tips and tricks that have helped me. Due to the style that I'm trying to accomplish, I am going back over certain lines that I want to darken and make a slightly bit bolder so they can stand out, certain details that I want to pop more. And I left this for the end just because I wanted to focus on certain effects that I want the sword to have. And I'm also adding a few extra little details that will give this piece more character. Now we're moving on to the white highlights. I love adding white to my pieces. I feel like it's what brings them to life, gives them that pop, gives them that effect that I love. And yes, it sucks. Yes, the skin is very irritated at this point, but it's worth the pain because at the end it looks super cool. Right before I get into the whites, I do like to spray with some Bactine, and then I just let it sit, let it dry, and then I get into it. Most of the times it helps, it takes the edge off the pain, and I'm able to have my clients sit more comfortably, and I'm able to pack in some whites. I also grab a brand new needle. Right now I'm using a 10 gauge 3, which is a little thicker. The reason I don't like to wash my needle and then dunk it into the white is because it takes longer to wash off the black, make sure it's completely off. Next thing you notice, you think it's clean, then you dip it into your white. Next thing you notice, you have a gray tone. And then you think it's white, and then you start packing it into the skin, and you're like, wait, that's not white, that's gray. So with time, I've learned that it's just better to grab a brand new needle, start off fresh, and you don't have to worry about polluting your color. Well, guys, this tattoo is coming to an end pretty much. I hope that the tips I've given you guys help you and you're able to apply it to your own craft, and I hope that it's able to help you continue pushing forward in your evolution as a tattoo artist. Make sure you guys stay tuned to the end of the video where I will reveal the final product of this tattoo and other pieces that I did on my client today. Well, that was a cool session. It was nice catching up with my homegirl from Japan, Natsumi. I appreciate you coming through. She brought me some snacks. Let me show you guys real quick. Thank you so much for these snacks. I appreciate them very much. I can't wait to try them all. It's crazy because I met her like when I first started tattooing, and it's cool because it's like, what the fuck, like, these are the type of loyal clients that have known me since I first started, and they still fuck with me. And it's cool to see my artwork on their skin because I'm able to see like my growth and how much I've evolved and shit. And it feels nice knowing that they still look for me. I have a few clients out there that have known me for a minute, so it feels good knowing that these people are still loyal to me and they still come around and they still want to get work done by me. And I'm glad that they come get work done by me now because I feel like I'm such a better artist now than I was before. But yeah. Anyway, guys, I hope that the tips that I've shared with you guys today help you and that you can apply it to your craft. These are things that took me a while to learn. I feel like I struggled a lot with my line work when I first started. I feel like the shading is something that I kind of learned a lot faster, but I always struggle with my line work. So I hope it helps. And if it doesn't, I don't know. Keep exploring, keep studying, keep trying techniques. Eventually, you're going to find your style, your ways, just like I have. Another thing I do recommend is if you know another artist or peers, whatever, that have good work, good line work, or good shading, ask them for tips. I struggled a lot, like I said, but Alexis, my partner, she gets down and her line work is so clean. I call her Miss Crispy because her line work be clean as fuck. So, when I met her and I started looking at her work, I would ask her like, hey, like, what are you running? Like, how are you doing it? And just watch her tattoo for as long as I could, and just taking mental notes as I watched her. And I feel like that helped me. I have a few other homies that I also looked at their work, and you know, just little things that you pick up from different artists that you apply to your own craft that help you. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one.